You ever been told that you have degenerative arthritis? Most people have. Arthritic degeneration or a degenerated joint or degenerative disease. Everybody comes in, or most people turn up to their physio or to their healthcare professional and they've been diagnosed with degenerative arthritis. And it's a real problem because it's really not degenerative. It should be more regenerative, right? And what I mean by that is that it's not a static thing. It's not a one-way street down into the obliterated joint zone. It's a constantly changing condition. There's like a bit's laying down, the bit's been broken away, the bit's laying down, a bit broken away. It's constantly evolving, constantly changing. So to think of it as degenerative just conjures up all these problems with kind of obliterated bone on bone, all these things that people think of when they think of an arthritic joint. Instead of thinking, the more I do with this in the right way, the better off I'll be, because it's regenerating. So the more movement I do that's healthy for it, the better the knee will function and the better it'll feel. So they're two very different things. And what's really important to understand in terms of arthritic change and how exercise specifically and programs like our program, the knee program, can help is thinking about it on a time function type continuum. So up here is function and over here is time. And so at a certain point in time, something happened. You might have twisted your knee, you might have had an accident, something happened in your life that caused an issue or a problem at your knee. It might not have been a major issue at the time, but with time, things develop a little bit. So something happens and the function starts to decline. So functionally, you start to have a little bit of a down patch. With time, then that functional issue turns into a little bit of like wear and tear on the joint surfaces. And then things start to get a little bit haywire, right? Arthritic change, if you avoid doing proactive intervention like exercise, specialized exercise, if you start to avoid things like walking up the stairs because it's painful. I used to walk 10 flights of stairs, now I walk 8 flights of stairs because it's painful to do 10. And then 8 becomes painful, so you do 6. And then 6 becomes painful, so you do 5. And then you stop doing stairs because all stairs hurt you now. And it's just this kind of slippery slope of avoidance. And what happens when you start avoiding things is that decline becomes pretty sharp. And down here, things are dire. This is like knee replacement. What exercise can do and what understanding how best to use your knee, how best to load it, the best types of exercises you can be doing, is that it changes this trajectory. So instead of this being knee replacement at 50, which nobody wants to do, what the guided exercise can do is it flattens this out and it becomes like here. So then maybe you would need a knee replacement if you're 110, but they're not going to give you one anyway. So this is happy days, right? Now, why this line is squiggly is because it's dynamic. It's constantly changing. Irrespective of how sharp the decline is, you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. But it's how intense those bad days are and how long they last for is what matters the most. If they're shorter duration discomfort patches and longer duration comfort patches, then happy days. They're fewer and less far between. They're fewer and far between. So we're going to try and flatten this line out so that you never need a knee replacement. So don't avoid. This is the avoidance line. This is the intervention line. So we want to get in there, do some positive exercise, teach you how best to use your knees, how best to get stronger, and how to avoid having to get a knee replacement.